Hey everybody! Earlier this month, I was rummaging through my mom's garage when I came across my gigantic bin of Star Wars toys from the 2000s. So I started sifting through it, walking down memory lane, when I came across this guy, a character that I remember baffling me as a kid. I remember knowing based on the packaging that he was from the Jabba's Palace scene in Return of the Jedi, but I don't remember seeing him on screen whatsoever. So now, at almost 22 years old, with my big adult brain, I decided to finally Google who this guy was. And after a lot of really weird keyword combinations, I finally found who this guy is. And his name is Bane Malar, a bounty hunter who is ridiculously boring. There is nothing cool about him whatsoever, and we're not going to talk about him today. Instead, what we're going to talk about is something that I found in the footnotes of his Wikipedia article, which has quickly become one of my favorite things in all of Star Wars lore. Slugthrowers, an overview of popular music and musicians in a galaxy far, far away. This article, published in November of 2013 on StarWars.com, is easily one of the most entertaining and absurdly detailed things I have ever read. So without any further ado, let's just jump into it. So first, let's start off with the title of the article, Slugthrowers. Star Wars lore buffs and laymen alike should be utterly confused by this title. See, within Star Wars lore, a slug thrower is a term usually used to refer to, quote, any projectile weapon that fires solid projectiles, known as slugs, as opposed to the energy bolts of a blaster. So, when Mando completely obliterates a bunch of tiny Jawas in front of Baby Yoda in The Mandalorian, overkill, we know he's using a slug thrower because we see him have to physically put a new round into his death machine every time he needs to fire a shot. Double kill! So already reading this article, I'm confused, because we're getting weapon terminology and music terminology mixed up. So in my dumb brain, I'm thinking that every musical instrument played by Fidrin Dan and the modal nodes in the Cantina can also at any moment transform itself into a gun. But no. Throughout the article, they make mention of digital sound slugs, which were devices used to store music and other entertainment information like holovids. And when you look into sound slugs on Wikipedia, the article that pops up shows that they're literally just CDs and cassette tapes, but Star Wars. And based on this artwork I'm looking at, I'm led to believe that the Star Wars music scene functions in the same way that the 1980s thrash metal scene functioned, with everybody in the galaxy trading around their sound slugs, just hoping that eventually it'll make its way into the right hands and then they'll be huge. But enough about space slugs, let's get into the meat of this article. So there's a lot going on in this article, but my favorite thing is when the author invents a genre of music that could easily be replaced by an existing one as this tongue-in-cheek reference to music of the real world. In particular, there's a lot of references to the heavier side of music, which I enjoyed quite a bit. Gamorrean opera and baka rock has mostly failed to find an appreciative audience in the galaxy at large, outside of expatriate Gamorreans, who tout its snorting and squealing as sublime. So within the Star Wars canon, Gamorreans are just metal elitists then, right? I mean, think about it. Their music is just snorting and squealing, and they love to tell other people how great it is. This is literally what's happening on the metal side of TikTok right now, with everybody reacting to the new Lorna Shore single. Now that's some top-notch baka rock right there. So the next time you hook up your old Wii and you play LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga, just remember that every time the Gamorreans do that cute thing where they take their axes and they play the guitar with it, they're not playing the Cantina band. It probably sounds more like Job for a Cowboy. Heavy isotope, a genre known for its excessive volume and the tendency of bass lines to mimic the human heartbeat, was invented in the boroughs of Slum District G17 by the vibrant but rebellious youth culture, as personified by the band D.T. Spool and the Scroaches. The genre gained notoriety for its association with the death stick culture rampant in the Coruscanti underworld in the years leading up to and during the Clone Wars. I just love how the author makes note that heavy isotope necessitates excessive volume, which is true of any heavy metal subgenre, and is why Nigel needed an amp that went up to 11 instead of 10. Can you imagine the kinds of sick, breakdowns and gutturals you could get with an Ithorian as the frontman of your heavy isotope band. The man has 4 throats. The late Republic period gave rise to the widespread use of subliminals in popular music. One pioneer of this method was Twilight sensation Squan Bonduna and his band Sonic Free, who were arrested by the newly born Empire for attempting to foment revolt, although the subliminals Bonduna used were harmless and meant to enhance listeners' moods. To me, this one is really interesting because it's a mirror of the satanic panic a few decades ago, with bands like Judas Priest literally being put on trial for supposedly having evil messages within their music. And considering the way that this guy Squan Bonduna dresses, I don't think that parallel was meant to be an accident. Smazzo. The Smazzo percussion group Schluer? Okay, there's 2 U's in it, which is sort of like Timothy Zahn and his whole Luke, but the clone of Luke with his hand cut off is still Luke, but spelled with 2 U's, and that's how you know that he's the evil Luke, because his name is Luke. The Smazzo percussion group Schluer was once escorted off the planet Clakdor 7 after it was found the music of its avant-garde composer Wurok provoked violent aggression in the native Bith population and nearly leveled the capital city of Weogar in destructive riots. So Smazzo is the Star Wars equivalent of the Blue Man Group. If the Blue Man Group provoked everyone into a violent, uncontrollable mob rivaling what Logan Paul did at VidCon. Now trust me when I tell you that I've saved the best for last. The moment that you've all been waiting for. Jizz! Jizz is primarily a Bith institution and is characterized by swinging upbeat melodies, yet the tonal variety of Jizz has led it to becoming one of the more versatile and widespread popular musical art forms, embraced and appropriated by numerous cultures, which bring their own unique native stylings into the mix. As a result, there are countless Jizz offshoots. There are countless Jizz offshoots spread across the galaxy, such as Runian Blues, Glizz, not to be confused with Glitz, Tatooine Blues, or the dirty variety developed by Smooth Banyak's Webb and the Scunbreds, and the more romantic Oddbade. Jizz bands employ a wide variety of instruments, including drums, fanfares, omniboxes, and double josimers, with various planets incorporating their own native musical instrumentation. For instance, Tatooine Blues is often played with a flunorp, driftzar, or soberquet, all instruments made from spare podracer parts, such as in the Mos Espa song The Street Singer, and the Kitonic Jizzwiller Droopy McCool. God damn it. Oh my god, you can't make this shit up, dude. And the Kitonic Jizzwailer Droopy McCool favored a low-toned Chidinkalu horn carved from the hollow reeds of Chidinka plants on his homeworld of Kurdu 3. The only apparently indispensable member of a Jizz band is the clue horn player. The saying goes among aficionados, a Jizz band without a Bith has its work cut out for them. A Jizz band without a clue horn should find a new gig. Does anyone want to go downtown to that new Jizz bar on Coruscant? I hear they bring a lot. I hear they bring their own native stylings into the mix. I just really don't have anything else to add to this. The music that you hear in the cantina, that classic cantina band song, is canonically called Jizz. And I just hope that your viewing experience of Star Wars is just that much better because you know that now. Anyways, that's all for me on this article. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is the first video on my new channel where I find little artifacts of media that I think are really interesting and just need to be shared. This video only covers part 1 of this article. There's a whole nother section of this that I didn't get to. So if you guys want to see a part 2, please hit that like button, let me know in the comments, and please consider subscribing. It really helps out a lot. And if you're into the heavier side of music and you're looking for some new jams, go ahead and check out my band Heliosheath. We're on Spotify, Apple Music, and anywhere else that you listen to your sound slugs. Links are in the description. I'll see you later.